In other news, the Consular Outreach Mission in St. Petersburg, Russia, provided services to Filipinos there. Here's Sherilyn D. Carlos, our EBC correspondent there in Russia. Take a look.
Despite of the pandemic, the Philippine Embassy in Russia conducted a 2-day outreach program dated October 16 and 17, 2021 here in Park Inn by Radisson Hotel, St. Petersburg, Russia. The outreach programs containing the following services such as passport processing, notarial, civil registry, authentication, and embassy ID releasing. The Polo OWA Berlin, Germany also conducting the following services: OWA membership, overseas employment services, contract verification, labor counseling, welfare assistance, and information of OWA programs and services. The Philippine Embassy in Russia was headed by the two great persons, Third Secretary and Vice Consul, namely Ms. Ana Meriguera and Ms. Mary Grace L. Perpetua. They discussed about all the important matters regarding the consular outreach programs and some of the future programs pertaining for consular services, and hear what they said.
For the past 2 days, we have organized a consular outreach program for our kababayans here in St. Petersburg and other neighboring areas. We offered services like passport processing, notarials, authentication, civil registry, embassy ID release. Our partner agency, the Department of Labor and Employment, also through the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, which is based in Berlin, also offered services to our OFWs here. More of that will be discussed later by our labor attaché, Delmer Cruz. So the aim of this consular outreach program is to bring the consular services closer to our kababayans. We know how difficult it is to travel during this time of the pandemic, so as much as possible and as much as the COVID situation would allow, the embassy organizes targeted consular outreach programs in areas with the most number of Filipinos. For this year, we have conducted consular outreach services in Yerevan, Armenia, Almaty, and Nur Sultan in Kazakhstan. We are studying the situation, especially the COVID situation in various localities here in Russia, and we aim to have more consular outreach programs as will be allowed.
For us at the embassy, this event is very important because we know that for the longest time, our kababayans here in St. Petersburg have been requesting for us to do this mission. They have told us the difficulties that they encountered because of the documents that they needed, all the services that they wanted from us. And so despite the risks to health and also resource constraints, we did our best to be able to mount and conduct a consular mission that at least adheres to the health standards, but at least the services are also very comprehensive. And we are happy to tell our public that today we were able to do that.
Attorney Delmer Cruz, Labor Attaché of the Philippine Overseas Labor Office, Berlin, Germany. He discussed the function of Polo OWA programs and services. He also mentioned the future plans of our government for all the Filipino community here in Russia. Here is my interview with him.
Ano po ba ang POLO, o yung Philippine Overseas Labor Office? POLO is the overseas operating arm of the Department of Labor and Employment. There are more than 30, about 36 POLOs worldwide in countries where there are OFWs. No? Ang twin mandate ng POLO could be summarized into two. One is employment facilitation. Pagka meron pong mga employers na gusto mag-hire ng Filipino workers, sa amin po nagsasubmit ng mga employment documents. Bine-verify po namin ang mga ito. We make sure that the employers exist. Yung terms and conditions of employment is compliant with the minimum requirements of the laws of the host country and Philippine law. So it is the first layer of protection para sa mga Pilipino na gusto magtrabaho abroad, in particular dito sa sa Russia. No? So dumadaan po sa amin yung mga dokumento ng mga employers na gusto mag-hire ng Filipino workers. Secondly, kapag sila po ay nandirito na, we look after their well-being, their welfare. Nagbibigay po kami ng serbisyo sa kanila para po maging maayos yung kanilang stay, yung kanilang period of employment while they are working here, yung kanilang mga karapatan at kanilang well-being ay napapangalagaan. Nandito po kami ngayon sa St. Petersburg, bahagi ng outreach mission na nilunsad ng Philippine Embassy in Moscow. Wala pa pong polo dito sa Moscow, kami po ay nanggaling pa sa Berlin para maghatid ng mga serbisyo ng polo at OWA. Halimbawa, yung renewal ng OWA membership. Nag-distribute din po kami ng tinatawag na e-card para yung e-card po ay mas napapacilitate yung pag-avail ng services ng mga OWA members, lalo na pag sila ay uuwi sa Pilipinas. Kami rin po ay nagbigay ng impormasyon. Nagkaroon po kami ng mini forum, mini town hall meeting dito kanina with Philcom leaders and other members of the Filipino community dito sa St. Petersburg. Nagkaroon kami ng munting talakayan tungkol sa mga programa ng pamahalaan para sa mga OFWs. May counseling session din para sa mga may nais na ikonsulta patungkol sa mga sitwasyon sa trabaho at saka yung mga pag-avail pa ng mga services. So yan po ang ginawa namin kanina. Sa panghinaharap, tinatrabaho po ng ating mahal na Secretary of Labor, Silvestre Bebot Bello III, yung pagbubukas ng labor office dito sa Russia, particular sa Moscow, para po mas malapit na at mas focus na ma-assist, no? Mabigyan ng serbisyo ang mga Filipino workers dito sa Russia at kasama na yung mga iba pang bansa na nasaklawan ng Philippine Embassy katulad ng Kazakhstan, Belarus at Armenia. So kami rin po ay nakipagdialogo sa Ministry of Labor, yung aming counterpart ng Russian government, para po mapag-usapan at harinawa ay magkaroon ng consultation at magkasundo sa isang tinatawag na bilateral labor agreement sa pagitan ng pamahalaan ng Pilipinas at ng Russia ukol sa pagpapadala, sending and receiving of Filipino workers to Russia.
Apparently, in behalf of the Filipino community here in St. Petersburg, Russia, through our representative, Mrs. Heidi Yosol, an OFW for 8 years and Vice President of Filipino Leaders Association in Russia, gave a warmest message to the Philippine Embassy in Russia. Hear what she said.
On behalf of the Filipino community here in St. Petersburg, Russia, we are grateful that the Philippine Embassy in Russia conducted a 2-day outreach program despite of the pandemic. It is listen up to our burdens traveling to Moscow as we are aware of the risk of the COVID-19 and also our opportunity to process our important document of being an OFW. I would like to thank our embassy and the Polo Berlin. They come here and conduct our OWA also to process.
Reporting here in the city of St. Petersburg, Russia, for Eagle News International, I am Cherry Carlos. We live in interesting time.